Welcome friends in Science Lecture 5, Lesson 16, Sustainable Management of Natural Resources. In this particular lecture, we are going to take the topic of coal and petroleum. Now in coal and petroleum, we have seen that an issue involved in the conservation of sustainable management that we have heard before, like forest, wildlife and water. These are actually very burning issues, that how to recover the forestic areas and replenish them, and we can replenish them also. But the topic that we are going to take it today, we cannot replenish this thing because they are non-renewable resources. That is another important resource like fossil fuels, coal and petroleum, that is petrol, diesel and all, kerosene and coal and petroleum, which are the most important resource of energy for us at present, which is creating an industrial revolution. Otherwise, we cannot grow with our energy resources. The energy need has been largely met by the reserves of coal and petroleum itself. In the area that we live, we have got a thermal plant for electricity which runs on that is coal. So still the coal is a priority for us. Coal and petroleum perspectives for those resources discussed earlier. Coal and petroleum were formed. How the coal and petroleum is formed? That is millions of biodegradation, that is forestic areas, the plants especially for coal, and the leaves and plant that they fall, that gets degraded and gets submerged inside the soil for millions of years. Almost they say it is about more than 30 crore years it get degrade and the coal is formed. Fine, since there are resources which will get exhaust. Why? Because we are not going to wait for this 30 million years to complete to have the resource back upon. So it is going to get exhaust in the near future, no matter how carefully we use them. Fine, so it is going to get exhausted in near future. Need to look for an alternative resources for energy. So which are the alternative resources that we can use for present is hydro plant, solar energy, windmills and all. Fine, these are the different resources that we have learned in sources of energy in the previous chapters, that how we can use the alternative. And it estimates that our known petroleum resources will last us for about 40 years and the coal resource will last for not more than 200 years. This is an estimate at present, but the way we are using it is going to get finished before only. Fine, so 40 years, that is we are not going to find a penny of petrol after that. So this is an alarm for us that how to use our resources. Fine, going furthermore, since coal and petroleum have been formed by biomasses in addition to carbon, these contain hydrogen, nitrogen and sulfur as an other elements except than carbon. Fine, so they burnt, and burning produces carbon dioxide, water molecules, oxides of nitrogen and oxides of sulfur, that is NO2, SO2, CO2 and H2O. These are the products which are formed by combustion. So combustion takes place. Now if it is insufficient with respect to oxygen, these forms produce, instead of carbon dioxide, it produces carbon monoxide, which is another poisonous gas. So these are the products of oxides of sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide and carbon monoxide. Three products are there: sulfur dioxide gas, nitrogen dioxide gas and carbon monoxide. They are all poisonous by their nature and their concentration is increasing. And also carbon dioxide also, it is because of burning. Fine, so carbon dioxide itself growing with a large amount is not good. It is a greenhouse gas. This is a greenhouse gas which is increasing the temperature of the earth. So the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is going on increasing, leading to an intense global warming. Global warming is going to create by then warming of the earth, and globe is warming, that is called as global warming due to the greenhouse effect. Thus we need to use our resources judiciously. Do not make senseless use and use it in a sensible manner so that it lasts slightly longer. It is going to. Now these are the friendly ways how we can at least presently act upon by not using personal vehicles. Generally we see in four-wheelers also the person is going using AC and everything inside. Fine, instead of opening a window he is using an AC and making a car chilled and alone driving. And one can use public transports if required, and instead of using personal vehicles. And cycling is a more better, I would say, perspective for your way of living life, because if you are going for very nearby distances, stop using vehicles. Using LED bulbs instead of these fluorescent tubes, that is big bulbs which are of 65 watt and 100 watts, instead of use 8 and 9 watts LED bulb which is giving sufficient light. By using a lift every time and not climbing up staircases. If you are young enough and climb a staircase, I would prefer to do so. Wearing an extra sweater instead of using heaters, right, and devices of heaters at CKD on cold days. So instead of burning fuels, you can, or electric current, right, one can do the needful thing by wearing one more sweater. So that is a more better thing instead of using such kind of machinery. Even using a better machinery is a better example which is giving good averages. Generally, good average is a vehicle which is going to burn fuel. Like if your vehicle is giving an average of driving you 65 kilometers per liter or 70 kilometers per liter instead of 20-25 kilometer per liter, that will be more fruitful, right? 10 liters of burning is going to give you 600 to 700 kilometers, while that is going to give you only 200, which is going to be a much better fuel. So fuel efficient vehicles need to be bought. Fine. So this is how we can reduce the pollution also and use our fuel efficiently. Fine. I hope so you understood this particular part of this chapter. Thank you.